question, if I may, in English, is just asking about whether U.S. forces will be involved in the Western Hemisphere going after drug traffickers and drug trafficking networks. There are designated narco-terrorist groups operating in the region, some of them utilizing international airspace, international waters to transit poison into the United States. And those groups will be confronted. The President's made that clear from the time he operated. In specific, the question was about the cartel of the Sons, the Cartel de los Solos, which is a criminal organization that happens to masquerade as a government. The Maduro regime is not a government. It's not a legitimate government. We've never recognized them as such. They are a criminal enterprise that basically has taken control of national territory of a country, and who, by the way, are also threatening U.S. oil companies that are operating lawfully in Guyana. So the President's been very firm. Anything that's a threat to the national security of the United States, he's going to confront. And but obviously, I have nothing further to add to that at this point. Thank you. Yes.
How are the preparations for the Putin-Trump meeting going in Alaska?
They're going very fast because this was put together very quickly, and it's in Alaska, so we've got to get there. We'll see how tomorrow plays out. As the President said, his hope is to interact with Putin tomorrow and sort of get a sense very quickly and early whether a peace is possible or not. The President's spoken to him, I believe, 4 times by phone, and felt it was important to now speak to him in person and look him in the eye and figure out what was possible and what isn't. This is the President of peace. He wants that war to end. He's going to do everything he possibly can. If he sees an opportunity to talk about achieving peace, he's going to pursue it. And we'll know tomorrow at some point, as the President said, probably very early in that meeting, whether something is possible or not. We hope it is.
Sobre Miguel Ruben, que acaba de ser enterrado en Colombia, no sé si le preocupa el aumento de la criminalidad o de la violencia política en este país, en Colombia.
¿En Colombia?
Sí.
Sí, bueno, es muy lamentable, como hemos visto con la muerte del senador Uribe, que una cosa muy trágica. Y obviamente nos preocupa la violencia política en cualquier país, pero un país como Colombia, que ha tenido que sobrevivir tantas épocas tan difíciles, que había progresado tanto, que se encuentra en un momento como este, obviamente nos unimos al pueblo de Colombia y a los esfuerzos de sus instituciones que tanto han hecho para lograr lo que se pudo lograr en Colombia y que lo que no se puede perder. I'm sorry.
Secretary, do you think that Ukraine is prepared to cede any lands that are currently in its control, or are we looking at more a return of potentially Russian forces from the current front line of the war?
Well, to achieve a peace, I think we all recognize that there'll have to be some conversation about security guarantees. There'll have to be some conversation about, territorial disputes and claims and what they're fighting over. All these things will be part of a comprehensive thing. But I think the President's hope is to achieve some stoppage of fighting so that those conversations can happen. These are tiny technical things that take some time to work out. So to have a peace agreement between Ukraine and Russia, you will need agreement from both Ukraine and Russia. And this war has been going on for 3.5 years now. It was a war that started under the previous administration. The President's inherited that, and he's trying to do now what he can to bring it to an end. But obviously, the longer these wars go on, the harder they are to end. And even as I speak, even as we talk here now, there are changes happening in the battlefield which have an impact on what one side views as leverage or the other. So that's the reality of ongoing fighting, which is why a ceasefire is so critical. That's been our proposal from Jeddah when we left in Saudi Arabia. But we'll see what's possible tomorrow. Let's see how the talks go. And we're hopeful. We want there to be a peace. We're going to do everything we can to achieve one. But ultimately, it'll be up to Ukraine and Russia to agree to one. Okay? Thank you, guys.